DreAllDay.com.
Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you're expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. Where's it at? On top of all this, you get to use those personal initiative. That's to go get energy that moves me, you, him, and her to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together into one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one show. There's a hardcover book on the topic, and this is the daily masterclass that is known as Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. Welcome to the show. Congratulate yourself on being here. Today's topic is how to be interesting. I never did a topic on this. How to actually be an interesting individual. Now, I know that there's a saying out there that says to be interesting, you should be interested, right? Listening to other people. I'm not using that angle here today. So that's not what I'm talking about here today when I talk about how to be interesting. What I'm talking specifically about is how to be the type of person that other people know about you, hear about you, talk to you, and they are intrigued. They want to learn more about whatever it is you have going on, whatever you do, whoever you are as a person, because there are some things about you that just get their attention. So we're talking on a more literal, direct sense, how to be an interesting individual. First of all, let's get a definition of this word interesting so that you know where I'm coming from with this topic. Definition is arousing curiosity, holding or catching the attention. All right, so how do you arouse other people's curiosity? How do you present yourself in such a way that other people want to ask more questions and find out more information and learn more stuff about you? How can you hold or grab another person's attention and take it away from their favorite subject, which is themselves, and get them to put at least a little bit of that attention on you? Is there an art to doing this? Yes, there is. Now, I want you to understand, or let me remind you that we all have egos, and we all, on some level, want to be paid attention to. So what is it that can make you interesting to another person? Or how can you arouse another's curiosity, hold or catch the attention of other people? You have questions, I got answers. That's why you listen to the Work on Your Game show. No, yeah, if you don't have a book, Work on Your Game, you get that at workonyourgamebook.com. And everything I'm gonna give you here today, if you're listening to this on a public platform such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, etc., you wanna hear the full content of today's masterclass, then what you need to do is go to Work on Your Game University, which is at workonyourgameu.com. Sign up for your free 14-day game group membership trial. 14 days completely free. You get access to every masterclass that has ever been made, the full content of each one, so that you can know everything I'm going to say here today and everything I've ever said on any show, as many as you can listen to, and then you keep the membership or you can choose not to, but I'll tell you more about that later on. Let's get into the topic. Point number one, the topic once again, how to be interesting. Number one thing you can do to be interesting is have some uniqueness to you. Be unique. Being different, ladies and gentlemen, is better than being better. You heard me right. Being different is better than being better. Why is this? One reason is you can't always prove that you're better than somebody. I mean, who's better is based on opinion, right? I could think Michael Jordan's better, and you could say LeBron is better, and somebody over there says Kobe is better. It's all a matter of opinion because they didn't really play against each other, at least not in their primes, not all of them all at the same time. We didn't get to have them all in the same place and all variables removed, so we can't really compare. It's really just based on people's opinion. So if you think you are better than somebody, or you think you're the best in class at whatever it is that you do, sure, you can have that opinion. Hopefully you do have that opinion so you can perform at your best with a high level of confidence, and maybe you have an audience of people who also agree with you. But if everybody doesn't agree with you, how can you get the attention of the people who think somebody else is better, or somebody who thinks that you're good but you're only number 5? If they were to have a hierarchy of who's the best, they think you're number 5, and that's just the way they see things. You think you're number 1. Who's right and who's wrong? Nobody is. So trying to prove that you are better than someone is a tough challenge, because you can't always get people to change their opinions. Actually, it's very hard to get people to change their opinions. Most people don't have flexibility in their opinions. I told you to keep your opinions flexible, but most people don't do that. I told you that in masterclass number 734, where most people don't do that. Most people form a certain opinion and it hardens into a belief. It hardens into, this is just how I feel, and they don't want to change it even if they're presented with new information. So again, it'd be very difficult for you to present enough information or evidence or whatever you want to call it, facts, quote unquote, to get another person to change their opinion if they don't think that you're better already. But if you are different from your competitors, if you're different from anything else that's out there, that one is a little bit easier to prove when you're different, when you're just bringing something to the table that nobody else is bringing to the table. Why is this? Since I already told you, you can't change people's perception of who's better. The other reason why being different is better than being better, because when you're talking about being better, you're talking about incremental improvement. So if someone's at level 94 and you think you're better because you rate yourself at a level 96, maybe it's absolutely right. Well, there's a couple of problems with that. One is most people will not notice the difference between a 94 level and a 96 level. The trained eye, the really professionally trained eye can notice the difference, but the average person who is not professionally trained and is not even paying attention to even have their eyes tell them anything, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. And incremental improvement is the disciplined path to success. So if you want to be successful in life, you are going to make incremental improvements over the course of your life. There's some times where you'll be able to make big jumps and giant leaps, of course, but a lot of time you'll be making these small incremental improvements that are really so microscopic that most people wouldn't be able to even notice that a change happened, that an improvement occurred that day. But you notice because you're seeing it compound over time. And this requires a high level of discipline for you to be able to do this, discipline and mental toughness. Here's the challenge. Most human beings are not interested in discipline and mental toughness. So if you are trying to sell that you are better than someone because you are incrementally better, you have an incremental, your skill level above theirs is incrementally higher, or whatever way that you want to word that, or you have some ways that you're just a little bit better than them in several ways, and you add it all up. And when you put everything in aggregate, you are clearly better than this person. The challenge is that's a mental exercise that you're willing to do because you're trying to prove that you're better. But the people who are paying attention, the people who are watching, they're not willing to do that mental exercise, and they may not be willing to change their opinion if they already had a different one. Most people are not into discipline. Most people are not into mental toughness. Most people do not notice the incremental difference between option A and option B. And incremental improvement, being a little bit better than whatever is after you or around you or before you or above you, is straight up boring. Incremental improvement is boring, ladies and gentlemen. Getting better a little bit every day for 5 years is boring. I'm not saying it's boring as in you shouldn't do it. I'm saying you should do it, because people who become experts at what they do, people who become professionals, the people who get paid, the people who get to the position where they train the experts, they only get there by enduring the boredom. You gotta be willing to deal with the fact that you're doing the same thing over and over and over again every single day. Same process over and over again. Incremental improvements that you can't even really see the difference between 2 weeks ago and today, but you know there is a difference between 2 weeks ago and today. That requires a high level of discipline and a high level of mental toughness. Most people are not interested in either one. So like I told you a couple weeks ago, you need to do certain things for yourself. Then when you're trying to convince other people, you don't tell them about those things because you're going to lose them, or they're not even trying to hear anything about discipline and mental toughness. But if you tell them about the result, they'll buy into it. Then you let them know, hey, all right, in order to get this result, you're going to need some discipline and mental toughness. Some of the people will drop out then when you tell them that, and other people will say, okay, all right, I really want that outcome. You sold me on the outcome, so now I'm willing to deal with the other stuff. So the order of operations, the order in which you share those things with people does absolutely does matter. But as I said, incremental improvement is boring. If a person has a workout program, for example, that they are not following, thusly the 30 pounds that they want to lose, they still got it. All right, they haven't lost that 30 pounds yet, it's still on them. But they have a workout program, they're just not following it. What's the best way to fix that person? If I gave you two choices to help that person with their workout program that is not working, well, the program actually isn't not working, it's them that's not working. But they're gonna say the program's not working, right? Now you got two ways you can help them. Here's way number one. You can help them make some incremental adjustments to their program. So make some small changes to their program and then tell them, all right, we made some changes to how your program is laid out. Now go execute the program so you can get the result. All right, that's option A. Now here's option B. You can tell them, look, you know what, let's just scrap this program, throw this whole program in the trash, and let me give you this brand new, this fresh, brand new, hot off the presses program, and let's just follow this one. It's completely different from the one that you already had. And this one, it's not your fault that the last one didn't work because it wasn't designed the right way. It's not your responsibility that they didn't put it together right. No wonder you weren't able to get the outcome. Let me give you this brand new, just shiny new program that is not your fault what happened there. I'm going to completely absolve you of the nothingness of the past 6 months that you've been trying to, quote unquote, trying to lose these 30 pounds. We know they haven't been going to the gym. They know as well. But I'm going to absolve you of that. We're going to act like that didn't even happen. We're going to blame it on the program, and let's just do this brand new one. All right, that's option B. Which one do you think will sell more? Not which one do you think is better. Which one do you think will sell more? What's going to sell more is option B. Now, let me tell you why option B is going to sell more. It's because, first of all, you're giving people a brand new opportunity. You know what human beings like? We like new stuff. We always like new things. Even if the thing that we have going is going pretty well, if you offer somebody something new, all right, it's just different from what you're already doing. It is completely new. This is something that you haven't even considered before, thought of. Nevertheless, nonetheless, have you actually done it? It's brand new. People are going to jump at it simply because it's new. Not because it's going to help them, not because they need it, not because there's anything wrong with what they're currently doing, the current program that they're on. People jump on stuff that is new simply because it's new. So, any of you who's a salesperson, you're reading between the lines there. If you come up with ways of presenting your product, service, offering, whatever, as new, even when it's not new, you'll sell more of them simply because people like new stuff. You might have created a product 2 years ago and it's not new anymore. It's 2 years old, but a person who just heard of you yesterday, to them is new. If you can present it that way and you can get their attention and get them to buy into it, not because of its proven results formula, but because it's something brand new. And human beings, we like new stuff. You offer people new things, they will buy it more often than if you offer them something old that is proven. That's just the way that our wiring works as human beings. So don't hate the game, don't hate the players, learn how to play the game, because that is the game. So the reason why uniqueness matters is because people like difference more than they like better. Better means there's going to be some effort involved. Most human beings who have full control over their mental capacities understand in order for anything to be better or to get better, it's going to require them to do a little bit of work. It's going to require some effort. It's going to require some time, maybe some money, some attention, and some energy. And most human beings ain't signing up for that. As I told you before, everybody signs up for success. Nobody signs up for hard work. Point number 2. Today's topic is how to be interesting. Number 2, say things that that is your competition, anybody else who's trying to stand out, say things that they can't say. Not just things that they won't say, because if you say something that people won't say, and then they see that you saying it was accepted, then everybody else is going to start saying it. So you could add new phrases and verbiage to the lingo, but saying things that other people won't say has a short shelf life simply because if somebody else hears it, they're going to say, you know what, that was pretty good. Then they're going to start saying it as if they made it up. There's no uniqueness in that. You're not really going to stand out with that except for a very short period of time, and if you're able to even get yourself credited with being the one who said it at first. But if you say something that people can't say, you don't have to worry about competition, because even though they heard you say it and they know you said it and they see the response you got from it, they realize that they can't say the same thing. This connects directly to your uniqueness angle. If you have some uniqueness about you that makes you stand out from everyone else out there, when you're asked to speak about yourself, the number one thing you should talk about, the only thing you should talk about, is the uniqueness that makes you stand out from everyone else, that makes you different from everyone else out there. So if there's a bunch of workout programs that say, all right, there's nothing wrong with the program, you haven't lost weight. The reason you haven't lost weight because you're not following our program. Let's make a few adjustments and now let's do it. Well, let's make it a little bit better for you, a little bit easier for you, and then we'll do it. All right, those that I-E-R, easier, or E-R, the better at the end of the word, that is referring to making some type of improvement, some type of incremental adjustment to something that's going on. But if you say new, all right, this is a brand new thing. So whatever you had going on in the past that wasn't working, guess what? It's not your fault. If you were not doing your workout program, guess what? We're gonna give you a brand new program and you'll be interested in doing this one. And it's a shiny object. Human beings, we have this thing called the shiny object syndrome. Some people, it is much stronger in certain people than it is in others. And when we notice something brand new and shiny, something that seems like it's different from what we have going on. Doesn't even have to be better, it's just different from what we have going on. We run towards the shiny object. All right? Shiny objects are magnets to human beings. Again, it's a stronger effect on some people than it is on others. So if you already have uniqueness, whatever it is you think makes you stand out, if you already have it, all you have to do is express it in some way. And if it is true, you now have a voice that cannot be duplicated. That's the way it works. You express your uniqueness in some way, shape, or form. You write it down, you do a live stream video about it, put something on YouTube, start a podcast, post some tweets, whatever it is that you want to do to express that uniqueness, the thing that you can say that other people can't say. If it is proven true, you now have a voice that cannot be duplicated. Or if it's accepted as true, let's put it that way. You have a voice that cannot be duplicated because you're saying things that other people can't say, even though they see you doing it, see you using it, they know they can't use it the same way. Donald Trump did this expertly to win the 2016 presidential election. Even to get to the point that he was nominated, he was an expert at doing this. Why? Because he would come out there on stage, on his Twitter, in debates, and he would say things that most politicians thought was unbecoming of a politician. Well, I'm a politician, I'm running for president, I'm a senator, I'm a congressman, or I'm a mayor, I'm a congresswoman. These people thought they were above the kind of behavior that Donald Trump was expressing, and some of them still feel that way. But a lot of them have been converted. I think we can say, now I'm recording this in the summer of 2020, so the election hasn't happened yet, but whether he wins or loses, I think we can agree that a lot of people have been converted to his style. All right, whatever you want to call that style. Calling people out, calling people names, attacking people through social media, basically dominating social media for the last 4 years. He's got a whole lot of people who were supposed to oppose him doing the same things that he's doing. They said, we're not going to go to his level. Now they are not only on his level, they're going a level beneath his to try to beat him at his own game, because maybe they thought or came to claim, you know what, this is the only way we can beat this guy is by playing his game. But anyway, what Donald Trump did was say things that other people were not comfortable saying. Not that they didn't know what he said, not that they couldn't go say the same thing, they weren't comfortable saying it, and now look, everybody's doing it. And he basically got everybody playing his game. Now we'll see where this ends up as of the 2020 election, but again, was he unique? All right, did he say things that other people couldn't say? I would say an absolute yes and an absolute yes. Point number 3. Today's topic is how to be interesting. Do interesting things. Isn't that something? And I mean, have experiences that make you interesting. Being unique and saying what other people can't say is much easier when you are actually out there doing interesting shit. Let me say it again. Being unique and saying what other people cannot say is much easier to do when you are actually out there in the streets, in life, doing things that are interesting. All right, because the interesting things that you would say and the things that make you unique will start to appear naturally in your life simply because you are getting unique experiences and you're going out there doing interesting things on a consistent basis. You're going to have some interesting anecdotes. You're going to have some stories worth telling. You're going to have some experiences that you would love to share with other people simply because you've been around and done so many different things. So how do you do this? Go outside and get yourself some experiences. Yes, you heard me correctly. Go outside and get yourself some experiences rather. I told you in masterclass number 1390 how to step outside of your comfort zone. And I told you in masterclass number 854, a key strategy for luck is you must be outside often. Being outside means being where things are happening. Excuse me. Not just stand on the street corner or on your porch. I mean going to where things are happening. I mean outside as a metaphor. Go outside, get experiences, try new things, meet new people. Find out where things are going on. Make it your business to be in the places where things are going on. You want to be an accountant? Go find where the accountants hang out. You want to be a video maker online? Go find out where the online video makers hang out. Be in that room, get yourself in the room, and be there as often as possible. That's where opportunity is going to find you. All right, you're doing the preparation. The opportunity will find you, and that's when you get lucky. Have you ever been to any places that most people haven't been to? That is part of your uniqueness. It's part of your interesting things. Have you ever had jobs that are intriguing? Somebody heard about that job. They say, oh, man, I never heard of that job. What does that job entail? Or how'd you get that job? What'd you do at the job? Or they may just have questions about the job because they heard of it and they knew you did it, but they have no idea what it's like to do it. If you've ever had a job or experiences that was intriguing, where in your life have you taken risks that other people haven't taken? Where in your life did you go try something that everybody else was afraid to try, or they were just kind of ignoring, even though they all were aware of it, because they just didn't want to do anything to embarrass themselves? These are all part of the doing interesting things point. At least once a week, you should try to do something, go somewhere, try something that you have not before. Why? So that's a unique experience. It is an interesting thing to do. You'll learn something new, you might meet something new, you might make yourself a new friend. You never know what will happen, but you gotta go outside and do stuff to really find out what will happen. If you don't go outside and do stuff and find out, then you'll never know. It's simply how it goes. Point number 4, today's topic is how to be interesting. Number 4, stop thinking about stuff and actually go do it. Novel concept, right? A lot of us have a mind full and a lifetime full of things that we've thought about and contemplated. Great ideas, bold activities, actions that would really shake things up in our lives, yet we never actually do them. We got all these things in our mind that we could do, or that we want to do, or that someday we're going to get around to doing, but for the most part, we never actually get around to those things. One reason is we don't write them down, and you pretty much forget it as soon as is not top of mind anymore. Another reason is we don't always believe we are actually capable of doing these things. And the third reason is we have conditioned ourselves to think about stuff a whole lot more than we actually do it. Therefore, we don't get the outcomes that we need because we're thinking about stuff. Thinking about things does not produce a tangible result. Doing things does produce a tangible result. May not always be the result that you wanted, but it will produce a tangible result. And when you get that tangible result, that's when you can look at it, look at your actions, look at the information that you had beforehand, look at your strategy and say, all right, where do I need to make changes? Where do I iterate so I can get this situation where I need it to be? But if you're not out there actually doing stuff, you will never be able to ask yourself these questions. The only thing interesting about some people's lives is the unlived life that we think about, but never actually put into motion. These are all the things that we think about and talk about and dream about doing and being and having, yet we never take the necessary actions to do, be, or have those things. And that is the unlived life within us. This is a concept that Steven Pressfield talks about a lot. If you've never heard of Steven Pressfield, he wrote a book called The War of Art, and he's written a few other books where he talks about the mindset necessary behind actually achieving at your highest possible level. But that unlived life within you will always be unlived and always within you. It will never be brought out if you don't actually go and do things. If you don't stop thinking about stuff and actually go and get involved. All right, even if the thing doesn't work out, even if it is a failure, even if it turns out you had bad information, you're better off doing something and regretting it than doing nothing and regretting it. How do you fix this? Just do the stuff you think about. Simple as that. You think about doing something, just go actually do it. If you just start doing that, if you just make a habit of that alone, your life is going to become more interesting for you, first of all, and for other people as a secondary benefit. Let's recap today's class, which is how to be interesting. Definition of interesting is arousing curiosity, holding or catching the attention. We all have an ego. We all want to be paid attention to. So what is it that makes you interesting to other people? I'm going to tell you. Number 1, be unique. Being different is better than being better. You can't always prove that you're better, but when you're different, you stand out in such a way that everybody has to pay attention to you. Number 2, say what other people can't say. Not what they won't say, but what they can't say. And some people can copy you on what you won't say once you express it out there, but once you put it out there as something that they couldn't say, but then you put it out, they're gonna start saying it. So if you already have uniqueness, all you had to do is express it in some way. Donald Trump did this masterfully to help him win the 2016 election. Let's see what happens in 2020. Number 3, do interesting things. Being unique and saying what other people can't say is much easier when you're actually out there doing things that other people haven't done or seeing things that people haven't seen. So get outside, get experiences, try things, meet people, know where things are happening, and go there. Point number 4, stop thinking about stuff and actually do it. Now, you can't be an interesting person based on what you've thought about. You can be interesting based on what you've done, though, and what you've done is based on what you thought about. Everybody thinks about and contemplates these bold actions that we could take or that we want to take. Most of the time, we never actually do them. The only thing interesting about many people's lives is the unlived life floating around in their mind that they never actually get around to. How do you fix this? Stop thinking about doing things and only think about it so you can plan on when you're actually going to take the action and goddamn do it. And if you want to get yourself into action, making things happen instead of waiting for things to happen, then I would suggest you read my hardcover book, Work on Your Game, using the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. You get access to that book, a full hardcover book that we will ship to you worldwide, and we're going to give you over $1,300 in immediate digital bonuses upon your order immediately. Go to workonyourgamebook.com. Dre all day.